I feel like it's been ages, but it hasn't.
Well, it has, because the Taylor one was recorded ages ago. That's why.
Yeah.
So it has been a while.
Feels like we've had a little break, little holiday. Whoa, we have a lot of news.
Shall we jump right into it, as it were?
Yes, let's jump.
So, numero uno is Europa Park renovated their terrible Eurosat coaster. And if you like Eurosat...
Get Out.
Well, I was going to say you're wrong, but I guess it's the same thing. No, so Eurosat was a Mack Ride sit-down coaster. Just a small one inside Europa Park's random Epcot ball. So what they did is they ripped all the crap track out, put new track in, put new trains on it, gave it a new theme, and then also gave it virtual reality.
Oh.
So what they did is they took, usually on virtual reality you have one station, and that messes everything up. This one, you've got 2 stations, you've got 7 trains, right? 5 of them for normal, 2 for VR.
Didn't we talk about this on the pod before?
Yeah, when it was being kind of announced.
Yeah.
But now it's open. The reviews are in.
And?
It's pretty crap, innit?
Oh. I thought this was meant to be the, revolutionary one.
Well, so firstly, the queue line theming is apparently great, and they did a real good job, because Eurosat's queue line theming was non-existent.
Yeah.
But on the ride, they took a leaf out of, I don't know, Hershey Park's or Disney World's book of getting cardboard cutouts that reflect to the light and placing it at random points next to the track to make it, quote, immersive.
Sorry, they got cardboard cutouts.
Well, no, it looks like it's cardboard cutouts. Just
what, of shapes?
It's based on it's in the French section of the park. It's called the Can-Can coaster. So Moulin Rouge and all that kind of crap.
So like dancers?
Yeah, dancers and
Okay.
French things. Yeah, but they're all just kind of like cardboard. They're not obviously cardboard, but they're like cutouts.
Yeah.
That have some luminescent paint on it, so you see it. Yeah, it's... People are like, why is the outside theming so good when the inside's so crap? Especially coming from Europa Park, which is a park we know can theme well. And on top of that, the virtual reality section is also apparent. I don't know if it's great. Apparently it's not that great, but the interesting thing is with these headsets, you put them on in a room and then you board the train while you have the headsets on.
Oh.
So the headset allows you to see your environment, but virtually, so that you can board the train yourself
What?
with the headset on.
How do you... Surely that looks really wrong.
It tracks you, so you're always looking at the right thing. Yeah.
That is mental.
I think it's meant to speed up throughput, but at the same time, I watched a video of people just trying to stumble their way to the
Yeah,
trains.
exactly. Wouldn't they just fall over and stuff? Which would
No
be
one fell
worse.
over, but they just didn't trust it,
Yeah,
even though
and
it was
would be
right.
slower in the long run.
Yeah, so questionable there. Hopefully Europa Park can make some adjustments and fix it.
Wow.
So, well done. You turned a bad coaster into a slightly less bad coaster. Anyway, next up is Tigress at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. This is a Premier Rides Skyrocket 2 opening in 2019. So if we look at other SeaWorld parks, like Busch Gardens Williamsburg has a Skyrocket 2. SeaWorld San Diego's getting a Skyrocket 2.
What is a skyrocket to?
It's, so basically, it launches you forwards, and then you don't make it up the hill, you go backwards. It launches you backwards, you don't make it up the hill, and then you go forwards, and then it launches you forwards again, and you make it up the hill. And then you do a layout. And then
What?
you go back in the other side of the station.
Why?
What do you mean, why? It makes a short layout long. That's why.
But it's like you've done a failed start every time.
Yeah, but it's meant to.
That's really funny. Wait, so like on Walking Dead, when they like...
Why am I using that analogy?
Because
Just
that's
think
the
of-
only one I can think of where
Just-
you do a false start.
Just think of Icon, right? Where you were to launch straight, you didn't make it up the top hat. You launched backwards, you didn't make it up, and say an imaginary top hat behind you. and then your final launch
Oh.
forwards, you make it all the way over and do the layout.
I thought you meant it launched forwards and then like fell backwards.
No, it doesn't stop.
And then it launched forward again and fell backwards and then it did it.
No.
Okay, that's
So it
better.
builds up momentum.
Yeah, I
That's
see
the
what you
point.
mean. That sounds good.
Then you can have a short launch straight and still be able to pick up speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, Busch Gardens Tampa getting Tigris. I guess good addition, maybe. I don't really know. I've never ridden one, and the other parks seem to be getting those additions anyway. So, but the more exciting news on that front is Busch Gardens Tampa Bay also announced that they were doing something to Gwazi, which is the park's standing but not operating dueling wooden roller coaster. Apparently, it's getting the, I think it was the quote, Rocky Mountain treatment, which obviously
Rocky Mountain.
means it's going to get RMC'd, which is the company who comes in and
Oh.
modernizes wooden roller coasters by adding inversions and more exciting elements, making them taller and all that kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much confirmed that the old really rough wooden coasters are going to become either two separate ones or probably more likely one big one.
Mm.
So that's the main thing. 2020, good year for roller coasters. Can't wait for Thorpe Park's mini dive. Shout out to the guys at Thorpe Park. In other news, Kentucky Kingdom is getting Kentucky Flyer, which is a Gravity Group family coaster. So Gravity Group are a wooden roller coaster manufacturer, like Great Coast International. So if you think about Wicker Man, imagine a different company making it, but a lot smaller.
Okay.
So it's like a kiddie coaster that's a wooden coaster.
Nice.
So yeah, they're getting that. It's apparently a good addition because, you know, family, all
Kids.
members of the family can ride it, yeah. So it's something that both kids, adults, and pretty much everyone can ride and enjoy. So Kentucky Flyer, 2019. And then finally, very, very fresh news, but probably not at the time that this podcast
Well, it would still be fresh on Friday.
is coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
So super fresh
Super fresh.
news. G-Force at Drayton Manor has officially bit the dust.
Absolutely gutted.
G-Force is a marathon X-car coaster, right? Always had problems with the park. The park's always run it with a limited or lowered capacity, you know, one train service with multiple seats of each train out of action. I don't know. It's just garbage, really. It's always been garbage. And finally, I think rumors are that the park cannot afford to fix the train and therefore are not going to operate it anymore.
So, are they actually ripping it out or they're just shutting it down?
Well,
Because if they can't afford to fix it, how can they afford to take it out?
rip it out, yeah. So I think the head of operations said that it's not ever coming back.
Right.
Apparently, well, Drayton Manor Press have been saying that it's closed for the season because it's meant to open later in the season and then never did because the train machine broke.
Right.
And then the head of operations guy or some sort of higher person said to a roller coaster enthusiast group that it was dead forever.
Wow.
So whether it's just going to sit there until
Well, it must just sit there until they get the money to
until they muster the
do
money
something.
to rip it out and replace it.
Yeah.
But this is all off the back of the Rapids accident that happened at Drayton Manor. That park is so screwed.
It's a shame, really, because it's actually not a bad one for like kind of more kiddie families.
Well, yeah, that's, you know, we might see the park just become less and less full of other
Yeah.
things except for Thomasland. Because as someone pointed out, I think Joel pointed out, that Thomasland carries that park.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
it
yeah.
physically carries it.
But even for me, Thomasland is the best bit, and I'm not even a kid.
Cool. Thomasland's
So,
cool. But
you
yeah,
know.
that park is screwed. Just quickly, other parks in the UK that are screwed. Oakwood. Get to Oakwood because that will not last very long.
Really?
I really doubt it.
Oh, we
It's
should go
in such a
then.
dire state.
I can't imagine
yeah.
it gets many visitors anyway.
No, it's in the middle of nowhere in Wales,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't get much investment anymore. So, yeah. So Drayton
Everybody
Manor
get yourselves down to Oakwood.
And
Get
Drayton
yourselves
Manor.
up to Drayton Manor.
down and up. Why? Why
Because
opposites?
one is up and one is down.
Well, not really. I think they're both kind of on the same level, in
Are
all
they?
honesty. Yeah.
No, Drayton Manor is like above Wales, isn't it? I mean, this is me talking about geography, so.
Yeah, that's wrong. It is higher.
Yeah. So.
I thought Oakwood was North Wales, but it's actually South Wales.
Nah.
If it was North Wales, it would be in line.
Okay.
But so you just got lucky. That was all.
Yeah. You
So,
just
yeah,
don't want to admit how smart I am.
Slightly up, not very far up, but but yeah, get yourself to those two parks next year or the year after because we doubt they'll be around much longer. Anyway, from bad news to good news, if you like that, spooky season is upon us.
Yes.
Halloween.
Save our souls.
Never really been into the Halloween scene at theme parks.
No. I don't know what it is about Halloween. We're not really Halloween people, are we?
No,
We don't like horror movies or anything like that, so.
too spooky for me.
Exactly.
But at least this year, we're going to try out the mazes at Alton Towers Scarefest. So Zoe's completely terrified.
I'm pretty sure I may die in one of them. Basically, if I get split off from people, I'm not going to be having a good time. So I don't think it's going to end well because I'm pretty sure they'll split us off at some point, right?
I don't know. I've never done the mazes either, so
Why are we doing this?
I'm very excited to try out the mazes. I think for some reason I handle like live action horror way better than I
you do.
film. I just stand there and go, "This is fun."
You just
I
laugh it off. So.
Yeah, I just take it in and enjoy it. So I'm really excited to kind of experience what it's like because it's not just the frights; it's also the kind of theatrical elements to it, which should be great. It should be some sort of great overall experience, even when you kind of ignore the scares.
But this is the thing. Do you remember when we went to the dungeon?
Yes, you're terrified.
If I could just be a fly on the wall in the dungeon, I would love it because it is so cool and like they do everything so well. All the actors are great, but I don't want to be picked on by them.
Yeah.
It terrifies me, and I know that when we go in the maze, we're going to get picked on, or we're going to get like, they're going to come up and in my face, and I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I'd rather just walk around it and them not like interact with me. Do you know what I mean?
There is the possibility that they will just focus on you.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
They kind of focus. I've seen sometimes that they focus on people who are
Scared.
scared. When I went in the welcoming maze, because that's the only kind of scare maze I've done, no one scared me, and I was so sad.
Yeah, but that's probably because you looked like you were being calm.
Yeah, everyone around me was like getting scared, and I'm just like, this is the thing.
Did
This is
Karis
happening.
get scared?
I think at one point.
Oh,
Um.
gutted.
So yeah,
mate.
I know. Sad.
Just look, when we go in it, just look terrified, and then they'll just pick on you.
I don't look terrified.
Just stand near me, mate. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to quickly go over what mazes they've got. There's Project 42, which is the new scare maze at Alton Towers about some sort of infected people.
There's always zombies in it.
It's not zombies though, it's like infected people.
It's a form of zombie.
Then there's Altonville Mine Tours, something of the Skin Snatchers where people like to steal skin.
Love it.
That one's going to be good. And then finally there's Subspecies, which is another kind of like zombie sewer dweller thing. And that one's the most intense one. Very much looking forward to that one, even though I probably will die as well.
That's my final resting place, Subspecies.
Yes, well, if you go in it.
If I go in it, which I'm not sure I will.
Yeah. But anyway, we will have a full podcast later on about, the next one, I guess, about Scarefest, about our experiences in the mazes, and about riding Wicker Man at night again.
Which we love.
Gonna be fantastic.
Fantastic. So, I thought we'd do an episode about basically what is a roller coaster enthusiast, because obviously Harry is one. And a lot of times when we're talking, it's like, oh yeah, the enthusiast, blah, 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 blah. But no one really talks about what it actually means, because I remember when you first started getting into it, and I was like, what? There's like a group of people that like love roller coasters.
Group of nerds.
Yeah, and I didn't really know anything about like what they do. And obviously now I do because you've told me a lot and I watch the videos and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like no one ever really talks about, you know, like the actual community and what it means to be in it.
Yep.
So I wanted to talk about that. And also the aim of this is to like ascertain whether I'm an enthusiast or not, because to be honest, I don't even know. So we'll find out.
We shall. I'd first like to start by saying there's a difference between, I think there's more than just one enthusiast type, as it were.
There's like subcategories, I'd say.
Yeah, and two of the main ones are theme park enthusiast and roller coaster enthusiast.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously join together in some aspects, but at the same time, they're very different. I think, even though this is very stereotypical, I imagine quite a few Americans to be roller coaster enthusiasts and more, say, European people to be theme park enthusiasts, because European theme parks are based more on overall experiences, not just individual top class rides, but the whole feel of the park. Whereas it seems, you know, I haven't been to any American parks, but it seems that it's less about the overall experience and more about the individual roller coasters specifically at American parks.
I feel like they have Disney and they have Orlando and blah, 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 blah. And then they kind of like, that's it. They're done. With the kind of theme parks that we know, they just do like, oh, let's do a massive ride, but then not bother.
Outside of Disney and Universal, there's not many theme parks in America that kind of cater to more immersive experiences everywhere.
Thing is, I feel like
there are.
They've covered it with Orlando though.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like they have Orlando's like, if you say theme park to someone, they're like, cool, Disney in America. It is the one. Do you know what I mean?
But what Disney? There's two Disneys in America.
But they've covered it. It's not like they don't have anything.
The well themed parks, as it were, are in far east of the US in Florida and far west of the US in California.
Yeah.
There's a whole middle bit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
not much in the middle.
No, I agree. But what I mean is maybe they don't need anything in the middle.
Nah, we were talking about this before, and I really disagree.
How did I know, mate?
I don't see how Europe could have so many large theme parks so close to each other, you know.
No, I don't mean the proximity to each other. I just mean they're done because they have Disney's.
Oh, but that doesn't make sense. If you live in the middle of the country, you'll have to drive, like 16 hours or even more to get to one of those.
What, so you want another Disney in the middle? I'm down for that.
Don't do a Disney. Just do something else. Someone else do something.
Yeah, they don't want one though, do they?
We need a Disney because Disneyland Paris is garbage.
Oh, we will take a Disney, thank you very much.
Yes,
Plonk it
or a Universal.
Right in the middle of the UK. Done.
Just get that London resort going.
No, not London. Put it in the middle so we can always get to it.
What?
Put it right near like Oxford, right there.
Why would they do that?
Because then we can all go.
If a Disney comes to the UK, it will be near London.
Okay, we'll put it on the left-hand side of London.
It doesn't make any sense to not have it near London, does it?
It does for me.
No. Anyway, we digress.
Yes.
Enthusiast. Separate things, you know. I'd say I'm more of a theme park enthusiast than a roller coaster enthusiast.
This makes me laugh because I see you more as a roller coaster enthusiast.
But roller coasters are always a big part of theme parks.
Yeah, but obviously.
Yeah.
But that's a bit silly because you're saying, like, I am a roller coaster enthusiast because they're part of the theme park.
What I'd say is, if I could go to theme parks in America right now, I'd choose more. I'd base my choices more on the park. So I would ignore some of the parks that just have crap tons of nice roller coasters in favor of some of the parks that have less roller coasters but are more generally nice, right?
But what if they have rubbish coasters?
Yeah, but even so, like the examples would be, I'd rather go to the Busch Gardens parks than quite a lot of parks in America because they don't have the best coasters. They have a nice collection of coasters, but they also have a very nice park. Whereas there's a whole lot of theme parks in America, like the Six Flags parks, that are a bit garbage.
But then This is confusing because you don't like Disney, even though it's well themed and they have meh coasters.
No, I don't dislike Disney. Disneyland Paris is broke. And that's the only Disney park I've been to
My
since I've
heart
been
just
to
broke a little
enthusiast.
bit when you said that.
It's a broken park.
But it's still magic.
It's pretty good, but the main park. The problem is the main park's really nice, but it doesn't have that many good rides. And the other park has the better ride, but that is terrible.
Yeah, but you don't understand, mate. It's not about the rides.
No, but it.
If you're
is.
calling yourself a theme park enthusiast, then you can't say that because you just contradicted yourself.
No, it doesn't work like that.
No, because you said I would pick a park that's well themed and has a good atmosphere over a park
Yeah.
with great roller coasters.
But still, the
And that's what
overall
you've done.
rides. Yeah, but the overall rides are still part of a theme park. You know, stuff like water rides and dark rides. They're all part of a theme park that
Thing
you
is,
wouldn't
though-
necessarily get at a park that just focuses on roller coasters. And that's what it means to be a theme park enthusiast. The other rides, as well as the park itself, not just the roller coasters.
Okay, so it's not like you just choose like a themed place over.
No,
You just
no.
want a variety of like flats as well.
Yes, I want it to be a well-rounded experience in
Okay.
a theme park. You know.
Okay.
Have a range of stuff to do. And obviously Disney does that very well. They've got a range of stuff. But that's just, I'd love to go to one of the better Disney parks, you know, like the original California one
Yeah.
or even Disney World again, but I haven't been in ages.
I feel like based on what you just said, then I'm definitely not a roller coaster enthusiast.
Yeah?
I'm probably a theme park / Disney enthusiast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney is a subcategory of,
exactly.
I
So
guess, being an enthusiast. I am, people talk about Disney stuff and I just don't get involved. Doesn't really interest me. I guess it's because I think if I went to a Disney park, I'd be a lot more involved in it if it was, you know, one of the other ones.
yeah.
Because I'd love to go back to Disney World because a lot has changed and there's a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's 4 parks there.
I
4
know,
parks.
it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and all of them are good. You know, it's not like one good one and one.
Yeah,
meh.
this is the thing. Like, I feel if we went, we'd need to go at a time where we have enough money to like stay there for a long time.
Oh yeah, you would.
Because imagine going for like only a bit.
Yeah, but not
It'd
only
be
that,
really sad.
you'd have to go to Disney World or Disney World. There's 4 parks there. Busch Gardens Tampa, SeaWorld Orlando. There's Fun Spot, which is some tiny theme park you probably get done in an evening. And then there's Universal Studios Orlando,
Yeah.
which has 2 parks. So park-wise, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh my god.
So there's
That
a
is
lot
a
of parks to
joke.
get through. Yep. And that's not including water parks, but I really couldn't get
Oh
over it.
no.
Yeah.
I don't
so
like slides where there's a tube.
I'm not bothered about water parks. I'm not a real fan.
We're not water park enthusiasts, mate.
No, we're not. Which again is like another whole subcategory.
Exactly.
I've got people like him on. He has a channel that is both like roller coasters, but there's a lot of water slides on there. And him and my friend Tibor, they go out and
That's
visit water
actually
slide
so
parks.
cool.
Yeah, they're fully into water slides, and if there's a water park at a theme park, they will try it out. You know,
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
dedication that is. But yeah, so there's so many different kind of genres, as it were.
I looked up the definition of just like an enthusiast.
Yep.
It says a person who is very interested in a particular activity or subject. That means I'm an enthusiast of a lot of things. If it's just you have to be interested in it.
Well, yeah, but definitions are always vague.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like it should be a lot more committed than that, you know? Like someone who's interested and spends time doing it and thinks about it all the time, you know? Not just they're interested in it.
Yeah. I think a real step towards becoming an enthusiast in my eyes is connecting with the community around it.
Yeah.
Being a part of the community, I feel once you do get involved, that's when, and you're talking to other people about that specific subject who also like it, that's
Yeah.
when you become an enthusiast. At least that's kind of how I got into it.
Well, that kind of solidifies your interest because instead of just keeping it to yourself, You're actually
Yeah.
like doing something about it and talking to people about it, you know?
Yeah. So in my eyes, that's kind of when it really solidifies. But then even then, you could, I guess, be an enthusiast before that
Yeah.
if you were interested and liked it.
We actually asked you guys like what you think enthusiasts are, and someone called Giancarlo, probably said that wrong, said, I think that an enthusiast is anyone who just admires coasters. You may never have been on a coaster and still love them, just as you may love football and never touch a ball in your life. You don't have to ride every coaster in the world to love them. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely agree on. It's you don't have to experience roller coasters to be an enthusiast, just like people who haven't ridden many roller coasters are still as much as an enthusiast to those who have ridden hundreds, you know?
Yeah, because it's all about, you know, how you can actually get yourself to a park. Just because you can't get to a park for whatever reason doesn't mean you're less of an enthusiast.
It's all about enjoying it, you know, enjoying every part of it. If you don't ride, some enthusiasts don't even like to ride stuff.
Yeah.
They just like to look at it. But there is an enjoyment out of watching a ride go around, you know?
Yeah.
I could easily watch the Smiler all day because it's such a nice ride to watch. And for some people, yeah, that's what they do.
And also, people probably just watch YouTube videos about it.
This is true.
Like, Sean, she doesn't like coasters or riding them, but she watches, like, your videos and other videos about coasters because she just likes looking at them and seeing how they work. They're quite interesting in terms of, like, physics as well, so I bet there's a lot of people out there who just like the physics side of it.
Well, that's, I think, where I kind of got mine from.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what kind of order it came in. For those who don't know, I study physics at university. So I don't know whether I like physics because I like roller coasters or I like roller coasters because I like physics,
Chicken and the egg, mate.
you know? But I've always been intrigued by stuff like that, you know, moving things and how they move and why they move and how does it work and why does it work. That's always something that really appeals to me. And I guess that's why we're talking here now and why the channel exists, is because I wanted to kind of answer that.
And it is kind of crazy how they move, you know?
Wow. Yeah, I guess. I mean,
No, but
once
like it's like a feat of engineering. When you see one, you're like, wow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How
definitely.
does someone design that and it works that well, you know?
I don't get how they built roller coasters back in the day
I
without
know.
computers. It blows my mind
Yeah.
that something like Nemesis was built to such a perfect level of quality, right? Without the massive aid of modern day
Yeah.
computers.
But I guess back then they didn't even know that computers could exist. So it was just they were
Well,
good
they
at
did.
doing it on their own, you know?
They did exist, and there would have been CAD back then, but it just would have been very primitive.
Yeah, but they would have been used to just doing it by hand anyway,
Well, yeah, even before that,
which is
I
more
mean,
impressive.
I think the Nemesis plans, or at least some of the early Alton Towers plans, were drawn by hand.
Yeah.
So, and that just
That's
is incredible.
cooler though. I'd rather them be drawn by hand.
Yeah, and you think today wooden coasters are still built by hand, you know,
Yeah.
from the ground up on site, which is
Incredible.
it's mad that someone literally saws pieces of wood and puts them together to
And
create a
creates
roller coaster.
Wicker Man, the
Yeah.
king.
It's crazy. It's mental.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just very interesting subjects, I guess.
Hmm.
And that's why there's a whole world of people who enjoy them.
I mean, Jack said something as well on Twitter. In my opinion, an enthusiast is someone who actively wants to learn more and has an interest in coasters, which is basically what we said. Like, people just want to know what's going on, and it's just interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think wanting to learn more is also a crucial step to becoming an enthusiast.
Yeah.
You know, once you have that desire to learn, I guess, and expand your knowledge in that certain area, I
Well,
guess
because
that's when,
then you just end up researching it all, and then you find out you kind of become an expert because you just find out all this knowledge about them.
yeah.
Okay, so let's pinpoint the exact point where you went, I'm a coaster enthusiast. The moment you started CoasterBot. CoasterBot was a long time ago. I feel like you weren't, in my eyes, you weren't an enthusiast when you started it.
That's not true.
But to me,
Yeah, to you maybe, but so my enjoyment of roller coasters has been around for like ever. And I'd always talked to my friends about roller coasters, and I look back and I've always been playing games about roller coasters.
yeah.
And the more I look back, the more I realized, yeah, I'm into this. I have been for a while. But I truly got into it with the construction of the Smiler. That was when I would every day look at the forum, about it being constructed, ask questions, interact with people. Not a lot, but still asking those questions. And then I turned to Reddit and r/rollercoasters, going on there, having a look around. But then after the Smiler, my kind of interest diminished because I don't think I really found a place that I could casually talk to people. I mean, forums are, yeah, you can do that, but I never really, as much as this sounds weird, I don't like putting stuff on the internet.
I know what you mean, though. Especially in forum type things, it seems a bit formal and like old school.
I don't like it because I feel like people are just going to pick what I say apart.
Yeah, well, that's what it's for, isn't it? Just basically arguments that are controlled.
Well, not really, but even though I put videos on which people can do the same thing about, I really don't like that. And that's why even back in the day, and even now to an extent, I won't comment on stuff like Reddit and forums. But yeah, my interest in roller coasters diminished. Then...
Why is that? Because you weren't getting daily updates and stuff?
Well, because there wasn't anything that piqued my interest and I wasn't talking to that many people about it.
Yeah.
It was only the construction of the Smiler that I wanted to, look at every day to see what had changed.
Yeah.
That caused me to really get into it. So it diminished after that. Completely basically forgot about roller coasters for a while.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And then one day, my friend John messaged me, "Have you seen the news?"
Wait, this is John?
Yep. John messaged me, "Have you seen the news?" And I was like, "No." And lo and behold, it was the Smiler accident.
Wait, you got into it properly after the Smiler accident?
Yeah.
That is so insane.
That accident, it sounds so bad to say, right? But that is the point where I got back into roller coasters.
Well...
And then, since then, it's been consistent.
I guess it was just a reminder.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, you didn't go, oh, great, there's been an accident. Gonna go look at some coasters, because obviously it was an awful thing. But, it would have just reminded you about the Smiler and all those times that you looked at how it was being built.
Well, what it was accident happened. I was like, I know where to go for this. I know where to go to get answers.
Yeah.
Hop straight onto the forum.
What happened?
Yeah. To see what everyone else was saying. And then I was just glued to the forum at that point, trying to understand how it crashed and why it crashed and also when it was going to reopen.
Yeah.
And that kind of carried me all the way to the end of the year. And then a thing called Discord came about, and r/rollercoasters created their own Discord, which was in the start of early 2016.
Wow.
And that became a place where I could talk to people about roller coasters, and that has carried me ever since. And also, I think I created the channel, in July?
Yes,
July?
I think it was July.
So about a month and a half after the Smiler accident, yeah, I created the channel.
That is mental. So you had about 2 months where you were like, I'm into this now.
Yeah.
To the point where you were going to make a YouTube channel.
Yep.
Wow.
I know. As much as it really is really bad to say, the Smiler accident is one of the reasons that CoasterBot exists.
It was like, I don't know if this is the right word, like a catalyst.
Yeah, no, well, it was a catalyst.
Like it sped it all up because it was so intense.
Yeah. So it could have come back naturally, with Wicker Man and with some other park developments like Darren Brown's Ghost Train maybe, because that was also in 2015.
But also maybe you would have just suddenly remembered that the Smiler exists and then got into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So...
That's so funny. Because I remember it was a long time ago. What year did you start the channel?
2015.
So I remember you telling me you were going to start this channel, and I was like, that's really cool. What's happening? I did not understand what was going on. And now look at you.
About the videos that I was making.
I just didn't well, no wonder I didn't understand, because you'd only just started to
get back into
it. And we didn't really know each other that well at that point.
But yeah, this is it. That's why I guess it was a shock to you, because I hadn't really been into it. Yeah, it was. But yeah, it's just a reignition.
Yeah.
So I guess becoming an enthusiast consistently was, the day of the Smiler crash.
And the channel.
No, well, yeah, and the channel. The channel basically solidified it, really, didn't
Yeah.
it? So, madness.
That is madness. Is this the same Jack? I don't know. We have another Jack speaking, who sent us a voice message. Well done, Jack. Thanks. We loved that. Here's what he says.
To me, being a theme park enthusiast is being part of a community, discussing and sharing our experiences with roller coasters and theme parks all together.
Couldn't agree more. You know,
Exactly.
that's what it's all about. Talking to people, enjoying it. You know, enjoying the discussions and experiencing what you're interested in.
I think any interest, you need people to share it with. Otherwise, it would be just weird.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think having people to talk about it with just makes it that much better.
Yeah. And also, everybody has different opinions. So it's kind of interesting just when people don't have the same opinion as you and you're like, oh, but I really love that thing. And they say no.
Yeah, it's very true.
You know, even though everyone's an enthusiast for like coasters or theme parks, that everybody likes different things. So
Yep. Everyone likes different theme parks and everyone likes different coasters.
yep.
So the real question is, are you an enthusiast?
I mean, you tell me because I have no idea. This poll, I have to say, was the funniest one we've ever done.
Yeah.
It made me laugh so much. Basically, the whole time it was going on, because it was up for a day, I'd look at it and it'd be like 40 something, and then I'd look at it an hour later, it'd be like 50 something for like yes and no. So I didn't really know what the outcome was going to be, which is interesting that it was so equal.
It was, yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. I guess this is the issue. To enthusiasts, I'm not an enthusiast, but to like my friends, I'm definitely an enthusiast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like half and half.
I don't like that though, because I imagine this happens in every community, but it definitely happens in the roller coaster or theme park community, where you get people who are, to put it really kind of badly, I guess, elitist.
Yes.
And they think, oh, I've ridden so many coasters, my opinions are right and I'm great, you know? And that coupled with people who hate on the general public because they don't know anything,
Yeah.
which is really stupid. Those are some of the negative sides of it. And I guess that potentially might be why the
Yeah, I think that was
scores were
reflected in the
so
results.
balanced. Yeah. But it could have been other factors. Maybe people just don't know you enough, or you haven't been.
To be fair, on the podcast, it probably sounds like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't, but then there are a lot of things that I do know.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't know a lot about American parks or coasters or anything. Like, you talk about them all the time, and I'm like, what are you saying? What is that?
There's no reason you should, though.
Yeah. I only know about the places I've been. Obviously, the UK parks, I pretty much know all of it. But, like, yeah, I feel like some people just think, I don't know. But then there were some people saying, so, like, this guy called Pumpkin Clark, I don't know if it's just Clark or whatever. If you're on a podcast talking about theme parks / roller coasters on a regular basis, how can you not be one?
It's true.
Which is kind of the point, isn't it, of being an enthusiast,
Yeah.
is to just talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Chris said, either way, it's nice to hear an alternative perspective, which is the point of doing this podcast, for me anyway, is like, I didn't want it to just be you, because you know everything. I feel like it should have people who don't know as much, because we need to be educated. And someone needs to have that kind of voice of like, what are you talking about? Like, you know?
Yep. 100 episodes down the line, though, you'll be
Oh yeah, we'll have to get someone new to replace me, because I won't be stupid enough anymore.
you'll be where I am, and I'll be somewhere else.
Yeah. We'll just get rid of Harry near the end, and
Yeah, right.
and
You
it'll
can
just be
replace me and I'll do something
me.
else.
Yeah, I'll just talk to myself.
Fair enough. But anyway, the results of the poll were
54% yes. So and 46% no. So allegedly, I am a theme park enthusiast.
only just.
Just about.
Just about.
Which I think is fair enough. If everybody had voted like 80% yes, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a bit strong.
Still, I don't really see why it was so balanced. In my eyes, it shouldn't be so balanced, you know?
Well, I think it is partly because people think that you should know a lot to be an enthusiast, whereas I don't think
don't-
you necessarily
no.
should.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
If you can be an enthusiast by purely enjoying roller coasters, you don't need to know the terminology or all the crap that comes with it, you know?
Yeah.
You
That's
don't need
just
to
for
know.
the people that are interested in that, like you.
Yeah, but you'll learn about it, and that's the fun part. You know, you come in with nothing, and you leave with knowledge and
Yeah.
insider knowledge, and that's kind of what my channel is about.
Yeah.
Is people come in not knowing anything, and people go out knowing stuff. You know.
But also, I'm okay not knowing anything.
Well,
Do you know
yeah,
what
of
I
course,
mean?
you don't need to know anything.
I'm quite
There's no
happy
reason
just
to.
going along to the parks with you and just like enjoying it and not knowing what inversion I'm doing at that one particular moment.
But that in itself, you will learn.
Yeah, which I already have kind of, because when I went to Disney, I was shouting out all the inversions, but it was still just more about I liked going to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it saddened me a little bit to see that so high or so balanced.
It's all relative though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course it is all relative.
That's the
and
issue. I mean, to
everyone's
everybody,
different.
you are like a god of like theme park knowledge, so obviously you're an enthusiast.
People think I know more than I know.
I know.
Like,
you
I
do know a few stats though.
I don't know any stats.
I swear you do.
No.
You know how long like the smiler is and all
No, I
this
don't.
kind of stuff.
No. I know, okay, stats wise, I could tell you how tall roughly the roller coasters at Towers are,
Yeah.
and it doesn't extend much outside of that.
You joking?
I'm not a stats guy. I
Well,
think stats are pointless.
Yeah, they are a bit.
I just generally know stuff about theme parks, you know?
Yeah.
But even that being said, you know, people think, oh, this guy makes a lot of videos, he must be really smart. I forget everything.
Yeah, but you forget just general stuff,
Mm-hmm.
let alone statistics.
I watch my videos later, like 6 months after they come out, and I genuinely learn.
Could have been made from someone else.
Well, it is in my eyes at that point, because when I make it, I don't get to enjoy it. So 6 months down the line, I'm like, oh yeah, Mac rides. That's a cool video, that one. I'm learning so much information, you know? It's true. So I am not a god.
No.
People look up to me too much, you know? Don't.
Harry's
I'm one
not
of
an
you.
enthusiast. He's a traitor. He's a
Yep.
fake.
Every time, you know, you could say that I have a big channel, but every time I meet Mr. Sean Sandbrook, I'm spooked, you know?
Yes.
So,
Even when we meet Taylor, we're spooked. You know.
well, no, I've spoken to Taylor too much now. That
Taylor
guy can't
is.
scare me.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Taylor,
Yeah. We don't like you anymore. You're not very famous.
you're not scary enough. I mean, Sean's not scary, but you know what I mean? Everyone like looks up to someone else, so
Exactly. It's a long chain, isn't it?
exactly. But yeah, no, don't look up to me. No, don't
Look up to me instead, people.
Yeah,
okay?
look up to Zoe.
I'm much better than Harry in every
It's
way.
true. It's true.
So yeah.
So, are you a theme park enthusiast? We'll say.
I mean, I want
Let's
to
have a
say.
definitive answer.
I want to say yes,
Why?
because I feel this is only recently, but I feel like over the summer kind of thing, I found myself. This is really embarrassing. I found myself being like, "Oh, I really want to go on a coaster."
That's
Do you
so
know what
good.
I mean?
That is so good.
Like,
I like that.
I just want to go
It's
back on
me every day.
Helix and just chill for a bit. But obviously,
You don't even know. You don't even know. You've got the worst to come.
Yeah.
If you're feeling that now, right? You've got the whole off season.
Stop changing me into a monster.
You've got 6 months
Oh.
or 5. 5 months of not being able to ride a coaster.
Yeah, but I feel like that break will be good because then when we come back,
Oh yeah, you get to.
It'd be
relive
good.
All of that.
it's all
But
fresh.
still, it hurts.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not
it's-
killing me at the minute, but
No,
like,
no,
I,
but-
if Helix was right there, I'd go on it.
Yeah, of course. But that's why Scarefest is so good because it's. Oh, that's why I make sure I go because it's the
last big
final,
one.
the last one of the season, as nearly as late as possible. You know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But yeah,
If
so
you-
that's why I want to say yes, because I found myself thinking, oh my God, I actually want to go to a theme park for real. Instead of like, oh yeah, I want to go to a theme park because Harry's going to have a great day and it'll be good anyway, you know?
Mhm.
Because that's what it started out to be. It's like when we met Jeff and he said, what did he say? Oh, we should get this like on a t-shirt or something. He was like, I'm not a theme park enthusiast. I'm a let's get Logan to have the best day ever enthusiast or whatever.
I just want my son to have the best day ever, or kind of thing.
Yeah. And that is like, that was me. It was like, I was a let's get Harry on a coaster enthusiast. But then, you just ruined my life.
But I even think Jeff has kind of
Oh, Jeff
got
loves
into it
it.
a bit.
Jeff loves it, don't lie.
I think soon he'll be.
Yeah.
I mean, he does not ride everything still.
Yeah.
He doesn't do some
I
stuff.
feel like he will appreciate like a little break every now and then, but he does
Yeah.
love it, really.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
is
he
the
does.
same with me, I think.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Anyway, so I'm going to go with a yes.
Hmm.
Um,
Let us know what you think. Give us a cheeky tweet at
Yes.
CBR Podcast and at Coasterbot. Follow both accounts and tag us both. Tag us both and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Is Zoe an enthusiast? Are you an enthusiast? Why? Why are you an enthusiast?
Yeah, tell
I'd
us.
love to hear what you say.
Or you could just send us a voice message on the website, which
Well, it's a bit late for this one, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'd just like to hear it, isn't it? And,
Okay, true. I guess.
And
I
you can
guess.
send... Yeah, we don't really want to hear what you think. You can send one for the next pod because, I mean, we put on the website every month what it's going to be about, so...
Scarefest.
Yeah, it'll be something to do with Halloween, but we'll give more details later on that one.
Yep.
One final thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you're ever going to stop being a coaster enthusiast?
For the same reason I kind of slowed down last time, I think that's the reason that's the only way out.
What, just slow fade?
Not speaking to people about it.
Right.
So if I ever stop being one, I imagine that'll be why.
Mm.
Or, but no, yeah, I'd say, or I can't go to theme parks anymore. But at the same time, there is enjoyment of, watching stuff, and I'm sure you could go to theme parks and just not ride stuff potentially.
Yeah.
So I mean, so
But also, if you had kids, you'd take them, wouldn't you? So that would
Yep.
spark it up again. I feel like you're doomed, mate.
Yep.
This is it now. And
till the end,
you've got a YouTube channel, so you got to keep it going.
I do.
Pressure.
Nah, not really. Used to it now, innit?
You just
Thought about stopping the channel before.
No, you
once.
haven't.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
What?
First year of uni, I got like halfway through and I was like, Alex, I don't know whether to keep this channel going.
What?
And Alex was like, don't give up. And I didn't. So you can all thank Alex for
Whoa, that is a shocker.
that. Yeah.
I can't
It's,
believe you'd ever say that.
Yep.
Wow.
Let me just find Alex's Twitter
Yeah, let's all go
handles.
follow Alex and be like, thank you, mate.
Yeah, so everyone please tweet at _Cruzy. That's at _CRUZI. Tweet him and just put thank you.
Yeah.
Tweet him, thank you.
And just, include him in your prayers. He's a great guy. And none of us would have these videos without him. So,
Yep.
wow.
You learn something new every day.
You do. And that was a big one.